this job, you take your eye off it for 1 second. People can die. You did a great thing today. It's all because of you.
Chicago Fire, next Friday at 8/7 Central on My Network TV.
And straight ahead here tonight at 9, it's Memorial Day weekend finally. Supposed to be the unofficial kickoff for summer, but not quite feeling like it out there. Details on the gloomy forecast, including timing on when you might be able to finally venture back outdoors. And financial relief on the way for people in several Missouri counties cleaning up from the spring's storms. Your News at 9 starts right now.
This is Ozarks First News at 9.
The holiday weekend has officially started, but with it comes a lot of rain chances. Here's a live look tonight of our Lake of the Ozarks. Also pretty cloudy up there as your Friday evening wraps up. Thanks for joining us here for your News at 9. I'm Mike Landis. Chances for storms and even some thunderstorms will headline this weekend's forecast, but will it be enough to cause chaos for your outdoor plans? Meteorologist Matt Hefner here with the latest on the timing of those storms. Matt?
We're going to have kind of some opportunities of thunderstorms. It's not just going to be a downpour the entire time, but there's going to be really more waves that come and go, and definitely tonight's going to be one of those opportunities that we get a wave that kicks in, and we'll have some sunshine that can come back out Saturday afternoon. So that's one of those periods where we can get things to shut down, but this is what's happening right now. We kind of have this band of rain that's setting up for places really in Vernon County and also extending all the way down into Taney County. This is subsevere. I'm expecting it to stay subsevere. It has been producing, I think, in a few pockets, like closer to Branson, maybe pea-sized hail right now in that area, but anything beyond that hasn't really been happening. We have to wait until we really get past midnight where these thunderstorms start to expand and become more widespread and pick up a little bit in intensity. Expecting a whole lot of rain that's going to be coming. Look at this bullseye area. It's for places that are really in the corner of Missouri, the corner of Arkansas. I think half a foot of rain will absolutely be possible. And here in Springfield, we're probably shooting for somewhere between about 2 to 4 inches of rainfall. These totals start to taper off the further off you get to really the northeast, but still a whole lot of rain is going to be coming back. Could have some hail that returns in some of these stronger thunderstorms that will be coming the overnight hours. But I'm not expecting really a tornado threat. There's a very, very small chance of that for places that are on the fringe of our viewing area. I'll mention more about that, but it's going to be a lot of rain, and we will have some periods of sunshine where people can get out and enjoy. We'll talk about the forecast more in detail later on in the show.
All right, plenty to watch for. Thanks, Matt. Well, the weeks of waiting for disaster relief from the federal government are finally over, with President Trump today approving 2 of Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe's requests for a major disaster declaration. The first approval makes assistance available to folks impacted in 18 counties for those storms that happened March 14th and the 15th. In our area, that includes Camden, Howell, Ozark, Webster, and Wright. The second round is for storms and flooding from March 30th to April the 8th. That includes several counties, including the following list of Shannon, Texas, Webster, Howell, and Ozark. What that means, if you have damage from either of the storms, you can now apply for FEMA disaster assistance. The contact details to apply is on your screen right now. The deadline for most individual assistance programs is 60 days, so you've got about a couple of months to get that in. The additional request for April 29th storms is still under review tonight. Well, here in southwest Missouri, as we mentioned, Webster County is just one of those areas that will qualify for the FEMA funding. That's where you find Jared Henry tonight with more after speaking with community members.
Yeah, on March 14th, that tornado blew through rural Webster County. Now, it blew through mostly Amish communities, and we tried to speak with some of those Amish communities, but they do not really speak with TV crews because of religious reasons. But I did speak with some of their neighbors, and they tell me that they're not sure that their Amish neighbors will accept any of the money.
We appreciate the FEMA, and I just hope that the Amish does take some help. I doubt it, but I hope that they do, but I will talk to them about it and tell them, you know.
Today, President Trump announced federal funding for over a dozen Missouri counties, including multiple counties in our viewing area. The funding is to help recover from severe weather that hit on March 14th and 15th, as well as March 30th through April 8th. Rex Cole helped his Amish neighbors rebuild after the tornado. He tells me they have their own way of paying for supplies after disaster strikes.
They won't take no funds, no money. If they actually worked for me and they got hurt, they won't come to me for funding to pay for any medical bills. They take care of all their own stuff.
For the March 14th storms, federal funding is available for individuals or local government and nonprofits impacted by the severe weather. Assistance can include grants for temporary housing or home repair. low-interest loans, and other programs. Cole says he is glad the government is not overlooking rural areas like his.
That's even better to me, that they're hitting more rural areas instead of the big cities. I mean, because they need just as much funding as everybody else does. So yeah, that's a great thing, yeah.
You can find our previous coverage of those Webster County storms on our website, ozarksfirst.com. Reporting live in Webster County, I'm Jared Henry. Ozarks First.
Well, tonight, police in Springfield are investigating a shooting that took place just a couple of hours ago. It's happening at a home on South Broadway near the College Avenue intersection just before 7 p.m. Authorities saying 3 people were inside when a suspect began demanding money from one of the people. After the male victim asked the suspect to leave, that's when the suspect fired several shots, striking the victim. Police say the victim was taken to a hospital. No details on his condition at this time. A man from Camdenton facing even more charges in the death of an Osage Beach police officer last year. Christopher Waymeyer was originally charged with second-degree murder along with aggravated fleeing a stop resulting in death. Court records showing that he's also charged with possession of a controlled substance. Waymeyer is accused of speeding away from a traffic stop on US 54 in August of last year. And during that pursuit, Officer Felicia Carson's vehicle skidded off the roadway and crashed into a tree. She was killed. Court documents revealed Camden County's prosecuting attorney now believes that Waymeyer was in possession of fentanyl when that incident happened. James Hickey of Nixa facing several felony sex crime charges in Christian County. That includes 2 counts of first-degree child molestation. Court documents reveal he's accused of sexually assaulting a victim that was less than 14 several times in the last 2 years. Another vacant big box store in Springfield is full again with a brand new retailer. Total Wine & More has opened its doors in Primrose Marketplace on South Glenstone. You might recall the site had been home to Bed Bath & Beyond until that company went belly up in 2023 and closed all locations nationwide. The place sat empty for nearly 2 years. Back in March, we reported that Total Wine had started construction on the new store. And since then, crews went in and gutted the old interior and rebuilt it from the ground up. Total Wine & More is one of the nation's largest superstores specializing in things like wine, beer, and spirits. It has 227 stores across the country, including 4 in the KC Metro and 4 around St. Louis. Still ahead here tonight, Memorial Day weekend, finally here for us, and that means millions of travelers are taking to the roadways and the skies. How the holiday weekend might impact your travel plans.
Well, it's going to be a soggy weekend, but it's not going to be a complete downpour. There's going to be opportunities where you can get outside and have some fun for this Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to tell you when those are later on.
This is Ozarks First News at 9 with Mike Landis, meteorologist Matt Hefner, and sports with Dan Lucy.